Seoul. Tall buildings rise around it. Cars pass by. People move at their own pace. But in the middle of this city, a gate from a 600 years old dynasty still stands. Gwanghwamun Gate. Seoul has continued to change, but this gate still remains in the same place. Today's journey begins at Gyeongbokgung Palace in Gwanghwamun Gate. Gyeongbokgung Palace was not built in a random place. To the north stands Bugaksan Mountain. To the south, Gwanghwamun Gate opens toward a wide road. With the mountain behind it, a place facing the city. This was the place where the king resided. It was the center where the Joseon dynasty presented itself to the world. A palace is not just a building. Where it is built, what it faces, and what path leads people inside. All of these become a single message. In front of Gwanghwamun Gate stand two stone statues. This creature is called Hachi. Hachi is not a real animal. It is a mystical creature. Hachi was regarded as a guardian that protected against disasters. It was especially believed to prevent evil energy and fire. The Hachi statues in front of Gwanghwamun Gate carry this meaning: a guardian protecting the palace, and a symbol that keeps away evil energy. Even today, Hachi sits in front of Gwanghwamun Gate, quietly watching over the heart of Seoul. Past Gwanghwamun Gate. After passing Hungnaemun Gate and walking toward Keunjeongmun Gate, the order of Gyeongbokgung slowly begins to take shape. The path runs straight through the center. The buildings and pillars stand in balanced symmetry. It almost feels like a symbol of order. On the path toward Keunjeongmun Gate, Yeongjaegyo Bridge stands at the center. In the past, a stream called Gyeomcheon flowed beneath this bridge. Gyeomcheon was more than just a stream. It was a symbolic boundary between the outside and inside of the palace. A mystical creature looks down over Gyeomcheon. This guardian beast is called Cheonlok. If Hachi was believed to ward off disaster and fire, Cheonlok was close to a guardian that blocked harmful energy and protected what was precious. That is why the Cheonlok statues at Yeongjaegyo look down over the stream. They were meant to block harmful energy from entering the king's space along Gyeomcheon. Standing before Keunjeongmun Gate, the center of Gyeongbokgung begins to come into view. Through the gate, Keunjeongjeon is revealed. But the arrival is not yet complete. Keunjeongmun Gate is the final boundary. Beyond this gate, the king held state ceremonies. Officials stood in ordered lines, and foreign envoys were received. In the courtyard before Keunjeongjeon, small stone markers stand in rows. These are Fumgaesok rank stones. They may look like simple decorations, but these stones reveal the order of Joseon. Officials stood according to their rank, in their assigned positions. Which person had to stand? Who stood closer to the king? And who remained in his place? That order was carved into the ground. Officials stood in symmetrical rows on both sides and received the king's command. Unlike the other spaces, Kunjeongjeon stands on a raised stone platform. So, officers reported to the king while looking aboard from below. The king looked down toward the officers and gave his commands. This could be called the most solemn space in the palace. The interior of Kunjeongjeon feels more like a place of official duty. At the center is a royal throne where the king sat before his officers. The throne is decorated in red, expressing royal authority and the dignity of the palace. Behind the throne stands the Ilongwabongdo screen. Ilongwabongdo depicts the sun, the moon, and 5 mountain peaks. The sun and moon symbolize the order of the heavens. The 5 peaks represent the stability and sacredness of the kingdom. The fine trees and flowing water express the wish for the dynasty to endure. Did the king spend all his time only in Kunjeongjeon? Kunjeongjeon was the most official space of Joseon. But the king's daily work continued behind Kunjeongjeon. Working farther behind Kunjeongjeon, Sajeongmun Gate appears. And behind that gate stands Sajeongjeon. Sajeongjeon was the king's council hall where he handled the daily affairs of state. In other words, it was close to the office of the Joseon king. If Kunjeongjeon was the stage that displayed the king's authority, Sajeongjeon was the room where the king actually governed the country. After the sun had set, I returned to Gyeongbokgung. In daylight, the structure of Gyeongbokgung comes first. The axis running from Gwanghwamun to Kunjeongjeon, the space that defines with its gate, and the order leading toward the king's seat. But at night, that structure reveals itself in a different way. The movement of people slows down, and the outlines of the buildings become clearer between light and darkness. By day, the palace reveals its order. By night, it reveals the passage of time. The courtyard before Kunjeongjeon grows quiet, and the lank stones remain low in the darkness. Where the king once gave commands, and officers once stood in rows, silence now fills the space. The night at Gyeongbokgung is radiant yet calm, but now only the king's seat is quietly lit. From this place, the king issued commands that saved the fate of the kingdom. He had to bear the weight of countless decisions. Looking at Kunjeongjeon in the quiet night, the tension of those moments still seems to linger here. 600 years ago, there was one man who carried the future of our kingdom. His nights too may have been as quiet as the scene before us. Gyeongbokgung at night slows every step. Even the fast passed by during the day become an entirely different scene at night. The illuminated eaves appear even sharper. The wind passing through the trees makes the palace feel even quieter. Only at night does the palace seem to reclaim its own time. Walking quietly through the grounds, the space sees itself being filled with every step. And as the night of the palace continues, there is one final place that should not be missed. A place where Gyeongbokgung's most beautiful night can be found. It is Gyeonghwaeru. Gyeonghwaeru is a pavilion built above a pond. It was a place where the king and his officials held royal banquets and welcomed foreign envoys. At night, Gyeonghwaero offers the most tranquil view in Gyeongbokgung. Bathed in soft light, Gyeonghwaero leaves a secondary image on the steel font. Time has passed, but the reflection of Gyeonghwaero on the font quietly connects the past and the present. By day, we saw the palace itself. By night, we walked through the time that flows within it. 600 years ago, and still today, Gyeongbokgung stands at the heart of Seoul, quietly continuing the same passage of time.